Okay, so let's talk about the Sony FX2. I didn't want to make a video on this camera because I don't have hands on it. But at the same time, I just wanted to share my thoughts on what I think about Sony and where they're going with their cameras right now. And how it kind of reminds me of exactly what Canon did a couple years ago when they were on top of the game, right? If you guys know, Sony literally changed the game when it comes to videography, or the I would say everything that they put in their cameras when it comes to videos. For the longest time, we had everything that we needed with photography. The only thing that has changed in the past few years has been eye autofocus, and it's a welcome change, because I remember when I used to focus and recompose, you know, but now you don't have to do that. Eye detect autofocus is great, and that's the thing that has changed recently in photography. But when it comes to videos, a lot of things have changed. Sony is starting introducing 4K full frame to their cameras, 420, 422, 4K downsampled from 6K, give us S-Log 2 and S-Log 3 in their cameras. You know, Canon always put the cripple hammer in their cameras, and you know, there was always one thing that made you not want to buy a Canon camera when it comes to video, right? And Sony kind of changed that, but in recent years, I feel like they've been selling a lot. Like, they've made quite a lot of money from selling cameras, and they are, I think, top when it comes to mirrorless cameras right now, somewhere close to the top. So it's probably still Canon, then Sony, and then Nikon, and then the rest, like Panasonic and Fuji and the rest, right? So I think they are quite comfortable right now, and that's why they'll put out a camera like the FX2, or maybe like what people are saying, the fact that they probably have a ton of sensors from the A7R4 that haven't been used, and they're just looking for a way to use it in the camera. I think the FX2 is, it's, in my own opinion, from the perspective of a content creator and somebody who is looking to invest in a camera that is going to be strictly for videos, because right now I do have the R5 and I have the Sony A7R4, and both of them do good, decent videos. Like, you know, you don't need, for the most part, quality that's better than what these cameras actually bring out. But obviously you want to future proof yourself, and that's why I'm not looking at the FX3 right now, because it's 4 years old. Like, putting $5,000 or $4,000 on an FX3 right now makes no sense. You know, for me, maybe if I had like a client that signed a retainer for the next 1 year, and you know, I was earning a certain amount of that, or just a new project that fell on my lap and I needed like a camera that could do everything that the FX3 can do right now, I would invest in that. But for the most part, you know, I don't want to invest in a camera that's 4 or 5 years old when there is something on the horizon that is new, that's coming up. But at the same time, if you look at what Panasonic is doing, they are doing amazing things with their cameras right now. The S1 Mark II that just came out is great. They're giving us open gates, so I feel like they are bringing the next evolution of everything that videography should have in small mirrorless cameras to the forefront. Meanwhile, I feel like Sony is kind of like, I'll probably say they're kind of like going backwards, you know, and they're acting like the new Canon, in the sense that, hey, you know, we have the market share right now, so we'll probably just take a break for the next few years and not innovate. But at the same time, if you look at it from the other perspective, you know, like the FX2 might be kind of like a test to see if people really like the viewfinder and all that. But I just feel like there are different ways they can implement a viewfinder, you know, make it removable, you know, stuff like that you can buy it as an extra accessory if you need it or not. But for now, I just feel like 4K 60 cropped in 2024 is not great, because for me personally, I like shooting videos full frame because it takes advantage of my full frame lenses that I have. And when I have to shoot 4K 60, then that thing is going to crop in, and then I have to start stepping back and not get like the full focal length that I'm shooting. It just makes things a little bit weird for me. So I think it's a good camera, but I think it would be a great camera if it came out 4 years ago. You know, it's a decent camera, but for the price, I don't think right now, obviously I won't pick it up. So because I'm not going to pick it up, I'm not going to advise anybody to pick it up. But that's not the whole idea of this video. The idea of this video is that I feel like they are kind of like, I feel like Sony is slacking right now, because they used to be like the top innovators. Nikon is doing amazing stuff. Panasonic, obviously they're like the smaller company right now, so they're going to put everything in their cameras to be able to stand out. But I feel like everybody's eyes right now is on Sony for the next few months or the next 1 year to see what they're going to bring out with Sony A7 V, and maybe even the A7S4. Yeah, I think that's the next one. Jeez, man, the names of these things are crazy. But yeah, so we are kind of looking at Sony right now to see what they'll bring out of it, like in the next 1 year, to see if they're going to innovate or if they're probably just going to be the new cripple hammer of the camera industry and want us to buy their more expensive offerings instead of, you know, what they've been doing over the past few years, which is packing or making their cameras very like feature packed, right? And if that's going to push Panasonic up, you know, a level, we don't know yet, because at this point I feel like I'm very invested in both the Canon and the Sony ecosystem, that selling all that stuff to switch to Panasonic is not going to be great. Obviously, we don't even know if Panasonic is going to survive the next few years, because they're still like, I mean, they've been here forever, but they're still like a small camera company in the grand scheme of things, right? But we'll see. But right now, I just feel like Sony might be the new Canon, or maybe they're just taking a break and they have something amazing in the works to bring out and show us. We'll see, we don't know. But yeah, that's just what I wanted to talk about. The FX2 is a decent camera. There are a few things in there that are probably going for it, but I'm in the market right now looking for a dedicated video camera, and I am definitely not going to be buying that camera 100%. But yeah, just wanted to get my thoughts out of the way on that camera, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.